Right now out in the forests of Washington state, there are active duty infantry soldiers fighting on the front lines. But their enemy isn't a foreign military.
No.
It's this 140,000-acre wall of fire called the Little Giant.
Yeah.
So welcome to today's deep dive into the August 22, 2026 Wildfire Report from the Daily Tech Reader. Our mission today is to unpack the staggering scale of this current U.S. wildfire crisis.
Right.
Because we've officially hit preparedness level 5.
And level 5, it isn't just some administrative label. It's essentially a distress signal.
Okay.
It means that our domestic firefighting capacity is just 100% tapped out.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got something like 22,751 personnel deployed across the country right now.
Jeez.
And to put that in perspective, that's not just a firefighting crew. That is a fully mobilized standing army.
It really is. Over 7.65 million acres have burned across, I think it's over 50,000 fires this year alone.
Yeah, it's unprecedented.
And because national resources are entirely drained, this report shows we're literally crossing international borders just to find manpower.
We are.
Like, we've brought in 270 fireline personnel from Australia and New Zealand.
Right. They're in the Northwest and Great Basin.
Yeah.
Because our fire seasons are opposite, we've developed this vital global sharing economy for wildland firefighters.
Right.
But what's unprecedented is combining that international cavalry with active military intervention. Like you mentioned, those 240 soldiers from Joint Base Lewis McChord.
Yeah, on the ground.
Plus Air Force and Air National Guard C-130 air tankers. They are just flying continuous sorties across Oregon and California.
Okay, but let me stop you there, though.
Yeah.
Because if we are drafting international allies and pulling active duty infantrymen just to hold the line, how is that not the definition of a fundamentally broken domestic emergency response system?
I wouldn't call it broken. I'd call it fundamentally outpaced. You have to remember, the system was designed for the climate and fuel loads of like 1995, not 2026.
Right.
So wildland fire management just simply can't operate as a localized civic duty anymore.
It's too big.
Exactly. The physics of the threat have changed. So it's forcing the response to evolve into this multinational military operation that relies on global alliances.
But, putting 240 infantrymen on a fire line doesn't mean much if the atmosphere is actively working against them.
No, it doesn't.
Like, you look at Oregon's Big Grass Fire,
which
is sitting at nearly 578,000 acres, and you realize you just can't outmuscle 10% humidity.
You really can't. The true catalyst driving this crisis right now is the weather pattern that's just sitting over the Northwest and Great Basin.
Right.
We're tracking these fast-moving, dry thunderstorms.
And this is where the atmospheric mechanics get really terrifying. We're talking about Virgo, right?
We are, yeah. So the air mass is so incredibly dry and hot.
Right, hitting like 100 to 115 degrees in the desert Southwest.
Exactly. So any rain these storms produce simply evaporates in the mid-atmosphere before it ever even hits the ground. All that survives the fall is the lightning.
So it's striking tinder dry brush without a single drop of moisture to suppress it.
None.
Having that 10% humidity with 115-degree heat, it essentially turns the forest canopy into
slash paper.
Exactly. It's like striking a match inside a heated wind tunnel.
Yes. You aren't just fighting a fire anymore. You're fighting a self-sustaining combustion engine.
Wow.
And that is the exact mechanism that's making containment almost impossible right now.
Right.
But we also have to look at the systemic impacts of this combustion engine.
Right, because the report notes the MP-18 fire on California's Hoopa Valley Reservation and the Frijoles fire in New Mexico. They are directly threatening residential communications infrastructure.
Which is a huge problem.
Yeah, because for anyone following the space, we already know mega fires melt fiber optics. But the report implies a much broader vulnerability than just, a few dropped calls in a rural area.
Oh, far broader. We're looking at severe single points of failure here. When a massive wildfire takes out a regional communications trunk, it creates a cascading digital blackout radius.
That is terrifying.
It is. It paralyzes emergency dispatch for multiple adjacent counties.
Wow.
It knocks out early warning systems. and it essentially blinds the very firefighters that are trying to coordinate air support.
So a localized physical fire basically creates a massive regional digital collapse.
Exactly.
Which brings us to a detail in the Nevada data that I can't stop thinking about.
Oh, the Mouse Meadow fire.
Yes, the Mouse Meadow fire has burned 52,000 acres directly on the Nellis Air Force Base range.
Yeah, and that is where the lines between environmental disaster and national security really start to blur. Because Nellis isn't just an empty patch of desert. It's a highly secure military testing and training range.
Right, so when an uncontrollable fire burns through that specific terrain, you aren't just worried about smoke.
No, you're looking at the risk of fire interacting with unexploded ordnance.
Oh my God.
The disruption of highly secure airspace.
Yeah.
And the forced evacuation of sensitive military assets.
It completely reframes the whole situation.
It really does.
We're so used to looking at wildland fires as tragic ecological events, you know?
Right.
But when 52,000 acres are burning through a critical U.S. bombing range and active duty soldiers are being pulled from their bases to fight on domestic fire lines, it just leaves you with a really serious question to mull over. Should we stop viewing these megafires as environmental tragedies and start classifying them as direct active threats to national security?